Alright, so a pleasant morning to all of you guys. Okay ba tayong lahat? So, thank you so much for coming to my class. So, again, I am your teacher, Jericho Trinidad of Automotive. Now, I'm your teacher of our professor. Thank you so much for coming to my class, guys, and a fun checking to the attendance given by your representative. Good news, you are 100% perfect, okay? Perfect attendance. That's really awesome. So, thank you so much for coming. And before we start our lesson for today, let's have a short prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins. Jesus, forgive those who sins against us. Do not bring us to the death, but deliver us from evil. Alright. Alright, so again, good morning. Kahapon natalakay natin or we tackled about some automotive principles and other stuffs. And now, let's proceed to our topic. So, ayun. So, our topic for today is automotive air conditioning system overview and operating or operations. So first, learning outcomes, to expected learning outcomes natin after finishing this module or this lesson is explain the fundamentals of automotive air conditioning system and describe the purpose, operation, and types of automotive air conditioning system and also the components. Okay? So, the first question, why car aircon is important to us, or why car aircon is important. So we all know that compatibility or comfortability in on traveling on a daily basis, case to case basis, or even if you're traveling, or we all know that when you are traveling far, like out of town, um, out of the region, travel or vacation, lalo na during summer, na we all want na malamig. Siyempre, yung travel natin, comfort, alam nga namang para tayong pugon na naglalakbay, di ba? So, ayan, why car aircon is important? Kayo, naranasan nyo naman mag-travel lang na naka-aircon or hindi, di ba? Siyempre, alam nyo naman yung, madali na lang yan, malaki na tayo. Alright, so, first, air conditioning system, or air conditioning is also very important because it helps cool the car down during the warm season. Like what I said, it helps on if we are traveling, we all need or we want cool environment or cool ambience inside the car. So if we are traveling, most of the time we are traveling for a vacation in the summer days or summer season. So I know that is a very warm season here as in the Philippines, since we are in tropical country. So every summer, the outside temperature can become very hot, like what I said, cause discomfort to the driver and also to the passenger. So what will happen if you guys think, what will happen if the driver is not comfortable enough or when driving, and also the passenger, syempre yung the driving, the risk of that having an uncomfortable traveling or driving is it's like you are not on focus on the road, or hindi ka masyadong nakafocus dun sa ginagawa mo, since like you are sweating and also feeling the hot temperature inside the car. So that is very exhausting also. So using the air conditioning to cool down the car helps provide a cool temperature inside the car, offer a comfortable driving environment, making sure that the inside of the vehicle is cool during the warm season. So it ensures a safer way to drive. Like what I said, heat discomfort while driving may cause distractions. Like what I said, okay. And uneasiness to drive may lead to risky situations. So, yan nga, we all know na kapag nahihirapan tayo and also those things na can hinder us from from focusing on the things that we are currently doing. It is very hard na pag may discomfort nung nararanasan. So next tayo. So yan, air condition. So ito, I'll explain. Air condition, or often referred to as AC or aircon, is the process of removing heat and moisture from the interior of an occupied space to improve discomfort of occupants. So air conditioning can be used in both domestic and commercial environments. So this process is most commonly used to achieve more comfortable interior. So on and so forth. Logically, technically, and yan lang naman yung silbi ng air conditioning yan na hindi naman siya to reduce the humid inside the specific room, like to remove the excessive amount of water vapor, to remove the air condition. It's also up to like to cool down the environment inside the room or on your car. Okay, that's it. That's pretty much it. Okay, so yan, it is a full air conditioning system. Ayan, papaliwanag natin yan. Ayan. And, from the compressor into operator and so on sa outlet. Yan. So, the first part, ito heater. So, kung air conditioning, we also have heater in air conditioning. So, air conditioning system, it's also part. So, to heat the air, or a better core is adopted as a heater core is adopted as a heat exchanger. The heater core takes the engine coolant heated by the engine and uses to heat. So, technically, again, logically, itong heater core, or the heater core radiator, dyan nanggagaling, dyan kumukuha ng init. So, reasonably, specifically talaga na heater core is not running when you are, when the car is came from an settle or hindi pa siya napapandat. So, from the start, from the beginning, heater core is not available. Kasi hindi pa. Why? Why guys? Kasi hindi pa mainit yung makina, hindi pa mainit yung radiator or something. Hindi pa mainit, so hindi pa siya gagana. So, punta tayo sa history of automotive and air conditioning system. So, the first company that offered installation of air conditioning system for automobile vehicle is located at New York City. So, United States, America, during the 1933. So, I remember that time. So, also the name of the company is unknown or unwritten here. Most of their customer, you can definitely search that one, do some researches. So, ayun yun na, malaki na tayo kasi their customer base will leave us in some luxury brands. So, specifically, automotive air conditioning system first installed on luxury cars, syempre. Yung mga nagsimulan, yung mayayaman, syempre, Ralph Pio of Howard Engineering, Buffalo, New York, applied for a patent for an air cooling unit for automobile. So, on 1935, after 2 years, the U.S. patent 2099 and 227 was granted on November 16, 1937, etc. Packard. So ito, Packard, Packard American luxury automobile brand market became the first automobile manufacturer to offer an air conditioning unit in the car. So yung Packard company, so Packard patented and supported this conversion. However, it was not commercially successful because of the following reason. So, di siya naging successful agad. Why? So, the mini evaporator system took half of the trunk spacious. So, on the most of the during that time, so yung mga components ng car or components ng air conditioning system is quite big to be input on the car trunk. So, ang hirap nun, syempre, that time, those become less of a problem, those become larger in the post-war period. So, on the post-war period, though this become less a problem, hindi na siya naging problema kasi lumaki naman yung mga trunk capacity. So, moving forward, it was superseded by more efficient system in the post-war years. So, it had no temperature, thermostat, or shut-off mechanism after then switching the blower off. At bakit doon sa unang mga design, wala siyang switching mechanism. So, walang thermostat or shut-off mechanism kapag sobrang na. Then, overrated clutch to remedy this problem. Yan. So, continuously connected without the start. He severed with flaming going back and forth between the engine compartment truck proved unreliable in service. So, yung mga tubings or pipings, going back, syempre, hindi naman ganun kaya. The prices that wasn't affordable, most of the depression of people in depression of pre-war America. So, the price is 4,692 in 2020 and 2014 US dollars. So ganun siya ka-pricey. Or ayan, $274. So mahal yan, times mo sa 50 by peso, ganun kamahal yung mga panahon yan, free war na yon. So pag-era na for this reason the option was being discontinued in the year of 1941. So installation of air conditioning on automobile is discontinued on the year 1941. So again, discontinued, hindi siya na obsolete. Pag obsolete, hindi na nagpo-produce. Hindi siya na paano na. So na-discontinued lang. So 1953, Chrysler Imperial was one of the first production cars cars in 12 years to offer modern automobile air conditioning as an option following tentative experiments in Packard in 1940 and Cadillac 1941. So Walter Chrysler has seen invention of air conditioning in 1930s for the Chrysler building. Okay? So in 1954, the Nash Ambassador was the first American automobile to have front-end fully integrated heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system, and the other one is the Nash Kelvinator. So Kelvinator, so known for refrigeration, Kelvin, yan yung unang tawag dun sa Kelvinator, yung sa refrigerator. This corporation use experience in refrigeration to reduce the automobile industry. Nagbigay sila ng affordable unit, optional for its Nash model. So compacted, the system was compatible with components installed under the hood or the cowl area. So combining heating, cooling, ventilated air conditions in the Nash car was called the all-weather eye. Yun yung tawag dati dun sa air conditioning system all-weather eye. So take note of that. So the innovation was adopted quickly in new features air conditioning like the Cadillac Comfort Control was completely automatic. Heating and cooling system set by dial thermostat was introduced on the first in 1964 from 1954 to 1964. So medyo ganun katagal yung naging evolution or modification or upgrade time ng mga panahong yan, kaya sakala nagkaroon ng medyo automated na or automatic heating. Yan, so dako tayo sa types of automotive air conditioning system. So the first one, excuse me, okay. So the first one is fixed orifice tube air conditioning system. So fixed orifice. So from the word in its mean, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. So the fixed orifice tube air conditioning system is a common type of air conditioning system in the automotive world. So again, this is the most common. This is the first type of air conditioning system, which is the fixed orifice. So the components that make the system unique are the fixed orifice tube, pressure cycling switch, and accumulator. So the fixed orifice tube is a metering device that forces high pressure liquid into low pressure liquid. So the orifice or hole is designed to allow. So sa orifice, the synonymous word is hole. Okay? So butas lang talaga siya. So it's designed to allow a specific amount of refrigerant through a designated speed of the pressure. So cyclic switch is normally used in conjunction with the fixed orifice tube. So also it is installed in the low pressure line or the accumulator to turn the air conditioning clutch and off at certain pressures. So the accumulator is a place between the evaporator and the compressor. So between, nasa gitna siya ng evaporator and accumulator. Evaporator and compressor. So it could between the collect any liquid refrigerant prevent it from entering the compressor. So the accumulator also houses the desiccant. Okay, so the fixed orifice or yung fixed orifice tube air conditioning system is less efficient than the TXB system. So, since the amount of refrigerant that flows through the restriction cannot be controlled directly, so again, stable siya. So, orifice, continuous flow. Butas lang siya, nag-create lang siya ng pressure, high pressure into low pressure, butas lang siya. There is no any sensor, there is no any that filtration or happening to the to lessen the amount of the flows. It is continuous flow. Alright, so fixed lang siya, fixed, or yun na yun. So the orifice tube metering orifice is fixed, meaning it is nothing more than a non-adjustable hole. So again, the nozzle is non-adjustable, or the tube is non-adjustable. Since it is fixed, it cannot vary the amount of refrigerant flow. So again, hindi nababago yung flow. Hindi nababago yung amount of refrigerant na nilalabas niya. That's all. Yun na yun. The whole since it's fixed cannot vary changes. Pag fixed orifice tube, non-controllable. So the only thing that changes in the flow is the same pressure. Is also the pressure difference between the high side and the low side. Since the whole of the fixed orifice tube is very small, refrigerant can only pass through it slowly. Mabagal lang naman. So, pero continuous. Same amount, same do not vary. Okay? As the pressure on each side of the tube starts to equalize, meaning the high pressure side is not too much higher than the low pressure. So, side it becomes harder to move the refrigerant through the hole. So, once the two pressures are equal, the flow of refrigerant stop. When the other one is it continues. Then the higher one, when the other one is higher, the flow continues. When the other one is lower, the flow continues. But when the two pressures are equal, the flow refrigerant stop. Okay. All right. So, ayun. Next one is the fixed orifice tube. Wait lang, change ko lang, malulubat. The fixed orifice tube is constructed from a plastic outer shell. So, plastic yung labas. And a bronze small fixed diameter tube with a mesh screen. So, may filter yun. May mesh screen na nakaharang yun. Siyempre, before and after the fixed orifice tube, figure 6, makaya nandito yung fixed. Yung tsura niyan. Yan. Ito yung orifice, ito yung butas, ito yung line. Ito yung inlet filter screen. Yung flow niyan pa ganon. Ito yung O-rings. Diffuser screen. Ito yung what did you mean by diffuse? Ito scattered into evenly part, or not too much evenly, but on a widespread area, or to diffuse. Okay? Diffused amount of then this is the orifice O-rings, and the flow is from here to the diffuser screen. Okay. Alright, so accumulator. So let's go on the accumulator. So what is accumulator? So the accumulator is located between the outlet of the evaporator and the inlet of the compressor. So it has no serviceable parts. True desiccant is located inside the accumulator. So the outlet tube of the accumulator is U-shaped. The gaseous rises to the top and able to exit via the outlet tube. Any liquid refrigerant falls to the bottom of the accumulator and is heated to convert into gas. Other gases pass through the accumulator. This system prevents liquid refrigerant from exiting the accumulator. So, ayan. The job of the accumulator is to make sure that liquid refrigerant doesn't enter the compressor. Okay, so again, the job of the accumulator simply is to make sure that the liquid of the refrigerant does not enter the compressor. However, some accumulators have a small hole in the bottom of the U-shaped outlet tube so that a small measured amount of oil can be drawn into the compressor for lubrication purposes. So, when we are applying a compressor, pag nag-aano kami ng compressor, pag naglalagay kami ng refrigerant, ng naman tinatawag nila na yan, Freon, yung sinasabi nilang Freon, yung nilalagay doon. Pagbago yung compressor namin, pagbago yung compressor na nilalagay namin doon sa sasakyan, naglalagay muna kami ng mineral. Ay, parang oil. Yung oil na yun yung naglo-lubricate doon. And then, somehow, doon sa U-shape na yun, doon sa bottom, doon siguro, doon na yung gagaling yung oil, yung langis na doon papasok sa U-shape yung small hole na yun. For the lubrication purposes, again, what is the essence of lubrication? So, it lessen the friction, it lessen the temperature kasi caused by friction. It also helps the material or the moving object or even the stagnant object not to be easily worn out, avoiding from rust. Yun yung essence of lubrication. Always remember that. Okay, so ayan. Inlet. Compressor suction pipe. Ito yon. Inlet. Ito yung liquid. Oil bleed hole. Strainer oil. Ayan. Out to low pressure refrigerant vapor. Pag ganyan. From this, inyong pasok. Okay. Since the fixed orifice tube system does not have moving parts in that restriction to slow stop, the evaporator system implant the evaporator, potentially allowing liquid to enter the compressor. This liquid refrigerant could cause the compressor to cease. So this potential problem is why the accumulator is placed between the evaporator and the compressor. The accumulator has no moving parts. So it does have desiccant pouches inside to help dry the refrigerant of any moisture. Always remember also that. So the second air conditioning types of automotive air conditioning system is the thermostatic expansion valve. So, thermostatic from the word itself, thermos, temperature, expansion valve type, okay? So, yan, the passenger compartment, ito yon, evaporator, expansion valve, or first tube, the expansion, ayan, compressor, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, na pag nagpapalit kami ng bago niya, naglalagay kami ng langis. Receiver and dryer, ito yung high side top, condenser, compressor, yan. Ito yung receiver dryer, front of a car, ito yung harapan, ito yung condenser, ito yung evaporator. The expansion valve is simply a refrigerant metering device to control the rate of flow of refrigerant into the evaporator. So, located in your dash, in the illustration below, you'll see that low pressure gas flows out the evaporator going through the expansion valve. Low pressure gas, expansion valve, lumalabas doon sa dito, expansion valve, malabas, low side, top side, ito, high. Okay? So, as it flows, the refrigerant temperature is detected by the rod running through the port. The rod is attached to the diaphragm at the end of the valve. So, based on the difference in temperature between gas and the outer portion of the diaphragm, and the temperature cooled by the rod, the diaphragm moves a center metering rod in the high pressure port of the meter to refrigerant into the evaporator, and it's really that simple, okay? Yan, so refrigerator flow in the system. So when the AC compressor engages, it sucks low pressure. So again, when the AC compressor engages, it sucks low pressure refrigerant gas from the evaporator. So the temperature of the gas changes the flow rate of high pressure liquid coming into the evaporator. Okay? So, the compressor then compress the gas into a higher pressure. So, again, compressor compresses the gas creating a higher pressure. So, the force it into the condenser. So, during the compression cycle, the gas rises in the temperature. Airflow across the condenser cools the high pressure gas, causing it to condense into high pressure liquid. Okay, so the high pressure refrigerant passes through the receiver, dry to remove any moisture. Okay, it then flows into the metering port of the expansion valve. And once the high pressure liquid passes through the metering port, the liquid pressure drops and the liquid begins to fill the evaporator. Okay? Alright, so causes the liquid refrigerant, airflow across the evaporator causes the liquid refrigerant to boil and turn into a gas again. The amount of the heat it takes to change the refrigerant from liquid to gas is what an AC system remove from your car. Okay? So yan, cleaner filter blower, receiver. ito yung receiver or drying gun, ito yung condenser, and then condense. And ito yung compressor. Condense creates a high pressure. Bang. Yan. So the basic components of an automobile refrigeration system consists of the compressor. Sorry, take note guys. Take note of this one, okay? So compressor, condenser, receiver, expansion valve, and evaporator. Besides the basic components, there is a blower. So yung blower, syempre yung nagbo-blow doon sa loob ng car, which sends wind to the clean air filter, which purifies the air when then the blower sucks in. In addition, there are other devices and functions which is help bring out the system's full potential, such as anti-frosting, engine stall prevention, engine idle up. Engine idle up, medyo mahirap ayusin yan. Engine robe, cabin. Okay, so itong evaporator kadalasan makikita mo yan sa ilalim. Doon inaayos yan. Kunyari, sa Hyundai. Sa mga Hyundai cars, basta, yung sa Light Ace, nasa gilid lang din yung mga Toyota. Nasa loob yung yung evaporator. Doon maayos yan. Tapos sa labas yung condenser, yung compressor, syempre nasa labas yan. Nakalagay sa pulley, nakaano sa belt. Kasabay ng okay? So, engine room, receiver, dryer, yan. Receiver, dryer, condenser, condense, creates high pressure, low pressure from the evaporator. Okay, so ito yung flow. Ito guys, you can definitely take a picture of this one. So the flow of refrigerant, the compressor discharge high temperature, high pressure refrigerant. Goes down, this gaseous refrigerant flows into the condenser, the gaseous refrigerant condenses into liquid refrigerant. Goes down, this liquid refrigerant flows into the receiver which stores filtered the liquid refrigerant. Next, this filtered liquid refrigerant flows into the expansion valve. So again, expansion valve has a sensor. Nag-expand to kung pag needed. Nag-expand to depende dun sa pressure na required. So again, the difference of orifice tube, orifice is stable, butas lang yon. Ito na varies the pressure, also the amount of refrigerant. So this filtered liquid refrigerant valve is expansion valve and goes down, refrigerant to low mixture, low pressure liquid gaseous mixture. Lastly, this cool liquid gaseous refrigerant flows to the evaporator, vaporizing the liquid in the evaporator. The heat, the warm air stream passing through the evaporator core is transferred to the refrigerant. All the liquid changes into the gaseous refrigerant in the evaporator, and only heat-laden gaseous refrigerant goes into the compressor. Then the process is repeated again. Cycle lang yan. Paulit-ulit lang. Okay? So yan. So, I think we're all set. This is the subject number 1. You can answer it on your home and then pass it to tomorrow. So, I think, any questions, guys? Do you understand all? Okay, so, if that's the case, thank you so much for coming to my class, and I hope you learn well. So, I can definitely send you this PowerPoint so that you can definitely review it to prepare for our next exam. Okay? So again, thank you so much. Bye for now. Okay?